영상이 시작되기 전에 먼저 등장할 5개의 문장을 보여드릴게요. 빈칸에 들어갈 표현을 유추해보세요. 단어 하나하나를 직역하지 않고 전체 의미에 맞게 의역하고자 노력합니다. 그게 바로 영어식 사고의 출발이에요. 그럼 시작해볼까요?
A large chunk of those were South Korean nationals. It's a major joint venture. ICE stated it was about suspected visa violations. He expressed regret to South Korean officials. Using immigration as a bargaining chip in trade.
Welcome along to the magic of listening. This is where we help you, especially if you're an intermediate English learner with an interest in business and economics, really sharpen those listening skills.
That's right. Continuous practice is key.
And today, we're diving into something pretty complex that happened recently.
Yeah.
It involves the detention of Korean workers at a battery plant construction site down in Georgia.
Shows how what looked like a local immigration issue can suddenly blow up into an international diplomatic situation.
Really highlights those global connections.
Exactly. It's a great example for understanding global business dynamics and all the different factors at play.
Okay, so let's break it down. What actually happened? We're talking early September 2025.
That's right. U.S. immigration authorities, specifically ICE, detained about 475 foreign workers.
And a large chunk of those were South Korean nationals.
Over 300, yes. And this all went down at a battery plant construction site in Georgia. It's a major joint venture, between Hyundai Motor Group and LG Energy Solution.
A really significant project then. So what was the official reason given for the detentions?
Well, ICE stated it was about suspected visa violations, specifically unauthorized employment.
Unauthorized employment.
Yeah, the reports indicated these individuals had entered the U.S. either on temporary business visas, the B-1 type, or through the Visa Waiver Program, ECA.
Okay, but I understand things got a bit murky quite quickly. There was some conflicting information.
That's putting it mildly. Almost immediately, yeah. Legal representatives and apparently some leaked documents from ICE itself suggested that maybe quite a few of the workers hadn't actually broken any visa rules.
So not so clear-cut then. That immediately raises questions, doesn't it? About, the scope of the operation, perhaps.
Absolutely. And beyond the legal side, you had reports coming from the detainees, from their families, talking about confusing communication, being put in handcuffs.
Physical restraints, wow.
Yeah, and crowded holding facilities. Some people were apparently held for several days in these conditions. So, the human side of it, coupled with the contradictory information, definitely signaled that this needed diplomatic attention.
Right. So how did the diplomats step in? What was the response, say, from the U.S. side?
Well, the U.S. Deputy Secretary of State, Christopher Landau, he expressed regret to South Korean officials.
Regret, but not quite a formal apology.
Correct. No formal apology was issued. But U.S. authorities did say they'd work on clarifying visa guidelines, especially for foreign specialists working on these kinds of high-tech projects.
And what about the workers who were detained and then returned?
They were apparently assured they wouldn't face penalties preventing re-entry into the U.S., but the specifics there are, still being looked at, last I heard.
Okay. And South Korea's reaction?
Deputy Foreign Minister Park Yoon-ju made it clear they wanted, quote, strong guarantees this wouldn't happen again.
Understandable.
And importantly, both sides agreed they need to increase cooperation at the working level. Improve the visa procedures, make sure skilled workers are classified properly.
So it connects to much bigger picture issues.
Oh, definitely. These discussions tied directly into the broader U.S.-Korea relationship trade, big investments in semiconductors, financial cooperation. It shows how one incident can touch on so many sensitive areas.
It really does paint a picture of that balancing act nations face, doesn't it? Trying to enforce immigration rules, but also needing skilled international labor for these huge global projects.
It's a constant tension. And it leads to maybe a slightly provocative thought for you, our listener, to consider.
Go on.
If, and it's an if, but if immigration enforcement actions were maybe used directly or even indirectly as some kind of leverage in wider trade talks or tariff negotiations, well, that would really require some serious thinking by policymakers, wouldn't it?
Using immigration as a bargaining chip in trade, that's a serious implication.
It is. It really makes you think about not just the letter international agreements, the written rules, but also the spirit of collaboration that really drives global economic progress. How do nations, protect their borders effectively while also nurturing the international partnerships that are so vital for innovation and keeping the economy growing?
A very pertinent question indeed. It shows just how layered these situations are. We'll keep exploring these kinds of crucial insights with us here on The Magic of Listening as you continue working on your English listening skills.
영어와 시사경제, 두 마리 토끼를 한 번에 잡는 알찬 시간 되셨다면 구독과 좋아요를 꾹 눌러주세요. 감사합니다.